back here again, we are looking at the three main files in the setup of your LiveSync. So the first file that we are looking at here is the scheduler, and this is where you set up your polling cycle. It basically specify how frequently you want the system to poll your target OpenDJ directory. Here I've set it up for every 30 seconds. You can set it up for minutes or hours. And here you specify the path to your the account class. So it says system, and this is basically the name of your connector, and this is your account class. And this again is also specified on your in your sync.json mappings. So it needs to just match what you set it up on your sync mappings, and it basically tells you that you need to live sync your account class. And here is the connector setup. You specify the host and the port, whether you want to use SSL, your credentials, the context to synchronize. In this case, it would be the container that you want to synchronize back to IDM. So I'm specifying all the user objects under the people container that I want to get into IDM. And here you specify the strategy. I'm using the timestamp strategy, hence this flag needs to be set to true. And you describe all the classes that you want to synchronize along, and their attributes that you want to map back to IDM. So so if you have any custom classes on your attached to your user object, you would need to specify them here, otherwise those attributes will not come over. And you specify user ID as the account identifier, and then there is pooling, configuration, and sync failure handler basically tells you what you want to do for when a sync fails. You can specify the number of retries you want to do. And then finally, this is the user account class. You describe all the attributes and their abstracted names. So the native name is CN on the directory. You can call it common name, for example. I left them as they are. And so the connector will have the exhaustive list of attributes that you're mapping. The sync.json will have the restricted set of attributes you actually want to synchronize. So if you have 20 attributes listed that you're mapping, the sync file can have, you can specify all the 20 attributes you want to sync, or you can say I only wanted live sync 3 attributes. So the sync.json file, like we talked about, tells you this the source here in this case would be the system name of my LDAP connector, and the account class in my LDAP connector that I want to live sync. And my target here is my manage user object, and this is the name of my mapping. By convention, you just specify the system LDAP underscore manage user, tells you which direction. So by looking at the mapping, you can tell which direction the mapping is going to. And then most importantly, the correlation query. This is where it initiates during LiveSync a query for every user object it's trying to synchronize. It is telling it is trying to query your user ID value against OpenIDM. If it finds a match, then there are so based on whether it finds or doesn't find the match and the types of links it has, it's going to initiate different situations, and we'll go over some of those situations in this mappings. And you can implement some on update, on create scripts that you want triggered based on your requirements. So in this case, if your LiveSync initiates a creation of an object, you can implement some other resulting uh, resulting I guess attributes you want to populate as well upon create. So in this case, we are saying populate the password as this value of when a new object is created. On update would be if the object is updated. These are the things you would need to do. Here in this case, we're just logging some information. And then here are the fields that you want to synchronize. The source field would be your what's specified in your LDAP connector, and your target field would be what's in your IDM field mappings. So your target fields could be display name in IDM, or they can be the same name as they are in directory, or you can give them a different names. It's up to you. And for each mapping that you describe, you can set up conditions and also transforms. So conditions would be the criteria where this required before the attribute is synced over to IDM, and transforms would be if you want to transform the value before it is synced. So you could say my CN is a combination of a given name and surname. In that case, you need to set up a transform of a value. So this is how you set up your sync mappings. I know it's really a very quick summary of it. And situations. So here where you define policies. So based on your correlation, you could come back with a situation of confirmed, where in this case you have found a match of an account between IDM and DJ, and actually it is linked in the links table. You'll get a situation of confirmed. That's a good thing. Now, there could be a situation of found, where you have found a match between directory and IDM during the live sync, but there is no linkage. And you could specify an action in this case. You could define your own action, or you can go with the default action. So you could, for example, say action ignore, or you can specify a custom action where it says log something, and I just gave some sample logging here, and then an actual name of the action that I want to do. I just want to link those accounts. And then finally, another common situation could be absent, where you may not find the match of your OpenDJ account that you want to live sync over to IDM. In that case, you can go with the default action. Here I've set it up as ignore because I don't want to create any accounts in IDM. I just want to update those accounts based on linkages. So in that case, if you only want to do updates, you need to do an ignore on absent situation. So, and there are a few other found already linked, ambiguous, ignore. You can look in the integrator's guide for more details for all these situations. But I've gone over how you set up your provisioner, a little bit of how you set up your mappings and the scheduler. These are the main files for doing the live sync over from OpenDJ over to OpenIDM.